Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday night, so that means it is time for the WyoNation Roundup. We are staying regular, aren't we, Shay?
We are. It's good to be on a schedule and kind of covering Wyoming sports here. A lot to cover.
It is, yes. So, welcome on into this week's edition of the Roundup. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share a link with a friend if you know somebody who likes Wyoming athletics. And remember, we're not only live here on YouTube, but we do have an audio feed, a podcast feed where all these shows will be fed to. So if you're an audio only type of person, you can listen to us on your way to work. You can listen to us while you're at the gym talking about Wyoming athletics. So we're happy to be here. Of course, we have wrestling, basketball, and then some portal stuff to get into tonight. So again, welcome on in. We are happy to be here and happy to see all of you out there on the stream. And so let's start, Shay, with a really feel-good story, I guess, right? Is the Wyoming Cowboy wrestling team coming off a dual win over a top 10 ranked team in the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. Shay, give us your recap of what went down in Laramie over the weekend.
I mean, first of all, just want to thank the fans. I guess it was like 85 to 90% full. So thank you for filling up the Wyo. And I know there were some SDSU fans there, but I think Wyoming fans really make it big. And if you would have told me that South Dakota State would have had 2 pins in that duel and Wyoming still won, I would have said you were lying. So just so we is not familiar with wrestling scoring, a pin equals 6 points in a duel. So 12 points could equal 4 regular matches, and Wyoming came out on top on the 6-4 in the match count and came out on top in the duel. It did come down to heavyweight because Wyoming was without Joey Novak at 197, but I know Gunnar Henry got pinned, but the boys just looked like they were feeding off each other and feeding off the crowd. So big time win for the program. They're ranked again in the coaches ranking. I don't know if everybody's seen my graphics, so I'll just say that my graphic of Coach Ford may have got them ranked again. I'll take we got to take credit for that. But
You have a new one? I didn't see it.
well, the one where he, Coach. Oh, I might be on
What?
myself now.
There we go.
Chad,
I don't
what
know what
happened?
happened. Like we both disappeared at the same
Oh
time.
no, I know I'm on the left-hand part of the screen. No, I made
Yeah.
We're lucky to have coaches like Coach Branch and Branson and Ford and Josh Heil where they can laugh at each other. So I made a graphic of Coach Ford standing in front of Devil Tower holding a sign saying, "We'll keep winning for a coach's ranking." So
Oh, okay, I saw that one.
yeah.
I saw that.
So I don't know if people seem to get a little kick out of it. He laughed. The other guys laughed. So I don't know if I don't want to be too mean to the coaches because those coaches matter. Those rankings could matter later in the year, but it's still kind of fun to poke fun at them and the Wyoming coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, now they're another top probably 15 duel on Saturday in Morgantown against West
Maybe.
Virginia. Yeah, who just came off a big upset of Oklahoma. So
I don't know.
we'll see.
It's Snowmageddon. I know you were planning on going there, but Snowmageddon is coming. I guess, are they still going to have the duel? Are the Cowboys going to have to leave like Thursday to get there?
I was told they're going to leave. But talking to other people in the area, Stanford is traveling to Blacksburg to wrestle Virginia Tech.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The next day, they're traveling to Charlottesville. It's like an hour and a half drive. But they moved the duel at 5 hours.
Okay.
To get the duel in. I don't know what the plan is for Morgantown. They're planning for a lot of snow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But I am coming to Laramie probably February 6th through 9th. So I'll get 2 duels. North Dakota State and Air Force, I believe. So I can still get some content, get my bobblehead that I've been promised, and ask Sloan Swan when he makes my kid cry every time he wins or loses in a duel. So it will be fun. The team is rolling, so if you guys can get over the Wyo, Jared Newland from 7220 Sports was over there. He loved the atmosphere I gave Cody Tucker a hard time for not going, but I will say their next home duel, January 31st, is at 3 p.m. Following that, you have the Border War and the AA. So just make a day of
Nice. Yeah.
it. Go get some food afterwards. Go back to the AA to support, Sundance and marketing's been kind of crushing it. They had the hat giveaway last night for Boise State in Laramie.
Mhm.
And they have a hat giveaway tonight for the women's game. And then they had coach bobblehead. So hopefully marketing keeps their positive trend and makes that maybe a fun Saturday for all the fans.
Yeah, no, that's great. A nice little doubleheader there to see some wrestling and then see the border war on the hardwood. But again, so you mentioned West Virginia is also ranked in the top 10 or top 15, you said?
It depends on your ranking service. They're probably a top 15 team.
Okay.
Talking to people, so they're a tough squad. Joey Novak should be back.
Okay. That's going to be my next question.
He should be back. He had like a tweaked shoulder. Adam Engel had tweeted out that he had a tweaked shoulder that's holding him out. And it doesn't make sense. You already know what he got with Joey. You don't have to force him out there.
Sure.
Gunnar Henry is a tremendous talent, but when you run into the number 6 wrestler, he was 0-0 going into the second against the number 6 wrestler as a true freshman.
Yeah.
Not the result you want, right? But you're holding your own, and I mean, hell, you're in a room with Eddie, Joey, and Christian. I mean, I'm not sure kind of what else. And Jared Hill's not had the best start to his year, so him getting a pin and sudden victory over a higher ranked opponent, you could tell it kind of fired him up just to kind of have the crowd there with him. So
sure. And then I guess thinking long term with Novak and just getting people familiar with how I guess wrestling postseason works, right? There's really no limitation in holding them out for some regular season duels, right? Because everything will come down to the Big 12 to get them qualified, most likely for the nationals.
So last year he kind of crapped his singlet at the Big 12, and he'll admit it. The coaching staff will admit it, where he required an at-large to get into the NCAA.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna be the case this year. Joey's on a mission. He looks more focused, but I read I forgot where I read it, but Wyoming's projected to have 5 qualifiers and be a top. They're like the 17th ranked team in the tournament. I think they could get 6 qualifiers right now, and they would be a top 15 team, which would be huge. That might be the highest Coach Branch has ever finished with the team. So, talking to Coach Branch, his goal is to have 10 qualifiers. That's always been his goal. So, if some guys, if some guys wake up,
that's like top 10 for sure, right? If you get that many.
Yeah, if guys don't go 0-2 in the tournament, you're looking at top 10. They're not gonna to get a team trophy. I think you have to finish top 3. You have Penn State, Ohio State. So the third team could be Virginia Tech, and those would be all teams Wyoming's lost to. Like Virginia Tech is a stout team. Wyoming held it with them for a while. So yeah, I guess you never know come March, but the team's rolling. They seem to enjoy the crowd. I made a fun little a graphic about a cowboy riding a jackrabbit that was not well received by some SDSU fans, but that's okay.
Ah, come on.
It's really? Just a joke. Yeah.
Wrestling fans can't be that soft.
I will tell you, being in the wrestling community, and I've told this to coaches outside of the Wyoming coaching staff and other media, the wrestling community, for how dominant, like physical the sport is, they're very big in their feelings sometimes. So, which is what fuels me, where other coaches like, just keep doing it. It's funny. So I start, kind of trolling a little bit.
Nice. I like it. No. Yeah. And if you haven't seen, I usually retweet Shea stuff when he puts out some graphics. So he did have a nice one of, it was the heavyweight guy, right? Riding the jackrabbit.
I was close. I couldn't quite get Christian Carroll exact. So I was like, this will be close enough. It'll be funny. Yeah.
And so then speaking of him, to wrap things up here is, so the duel against South Dakota State came down to that heavyweight match, right?
It did, because It was going to come down to it regardless,
Okay.
unless Gunnar Henry had pulled off an upset on Berg. Or I don't know if his last name is Berg or Bergie. Sorry if his family's watching or whatever. I don't know how to say your last name.
Mm-hmm.
But it was 20-18 entering the heavyweight. And I think I went to go pour a drink, and Christian Carroll was up 9-2 in the first period. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted so bad to win that duel for Wyoming. Gunnar Henry wanted to win the duel. If he would have won, the duel would have been locked. So I
Yeah.
think he was kind of forcing some things like, I want to be the guy. But Christian Carroll looks good. Some people hit me up like, well, Carroll looks a little slower, but he had to win. So he wrestled the match to win the duel for Wyoming. And he still came out with a major decision, but he got ridden out by this guy. Yeah, but it didn't matter. Just he wrestled the match to win the duel, and the
Sure.
coaches
Yeah.
were happy. And I always give Coach Branch a hard time because he doesn't smile a lot, and he was smiling on the bench. So a good win, and I hope people fill the UNOYO on the 31st and just walk on over to the AA afterwards, because Sundance, that's 1,000 people in UNOYO. It could be 1,000 people extra in the AA.
Yeah. And who's that duel against again on the 31st?
Oregon State.
Oregon State. Okay.
Yes, you have a former Wyoming coach coming in Pendleton back to Laramie. So kind of a fun little coaching tree. It's like the John Smith coaching tree with Branch, but he coached in Laramie for a couple of years. So
Great. And then what is Oregon State doing with their wrestling?
they're a top 25 team too. So
Yeah.
the Big 12 is the second best wrestling conference behind the Big 10, but
Yeah.
there are weights inside the Big 12 that are better than the Big 10. So now Oregon State's considered Pac-12.
Yeah.
They don't technically have a conference unless they find another affiliate member, which they took Northern Illinois out of the MAC as an affiliate member to their Pac-12 wrestling. So they're still looking for another team, because you need 6 teams to become a wrestling conference. So I don't know where they're going to find that 16 with Cal Baptist dropping a program.
Yeah.
But
Not our
find
problem.
something. Yeah, not my problem.
But good for wrestling, obviously. You're a fan of wrestling, so you'd want another conference.
Yeah, they're going to find something. Some smaller school will probably jump on the opportunity. But what hurt them is Arizona State leaving, because Arizona State was a Big 12 member in football, so their wrestling program automatically kind of translated over. So, but it is what it is, and we'll just hope for a big win on Saturday on ESPN Plus, because they own the Big 12 contract. So it'll be on ESPN Plus this weekend.
Okay. Very, very good. So Wyoming wrestling coming off a big win, trying to keep that momentum, trying to beat Snowmageddon to get into Morgantown to get that dual win before everybody, freezes to death. But on the flip side, we got to talk about Wyoming men's basketball, unfortunately. And let me bring up that recent schedule here, boys and girls. So, unfortunately, right, the last time we got to talk about joy was right here. Wyoming's best game of the season so far against UNLV, blowing them out at home. And then since then, I don't know why I just did that. I just opened up the page, but 4 straight losses, one on the road in Reno to Nevada, one at home to San Diego State in Laramie, another one on the road against Fresno State, and then last night getting hammered at home by Boise State. 4 losses in a row, not what you want to see, of course, at this point in the season, especially when we were hoping that after losing those 2 that they would find a way to battle back. So I guess just your thoughts and observations with what's going on with Sundance and the boys on the hard court.
They looked really good in non-conference, and they were deep in non-conference. What, the rotation was 11?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, 11 or 12. And Belich missing is bad, because he was a big body that was very physical in the paint. Josh Harris was having a fantastic season. And that's a devastating injury. I don't know if it was ever, excuse me, turf toe, but it is a devastating.
It hurts.
Yeah, it's a devastating injury.
For sure.
I don't know. I think Sundance mentioned like toughness, and I think a couple of guys are willing to like mix it up. But man, I watched the first half last night and I was like, oh, 14-13. And Brian had texted, this game's ugly. And I was like, that's perfect for Wyoming. Keep it ugly and just string Boise along inside Laramie in an ugly game. And then the next thing I know, it's a 27-4 run. I was like, what's happening? And
There's a lid on the hoop.
yeah. And then they couldn't make any stops. And they talk about the turkey. Like they harp it. Guys get interviewed. They talk about the turkey 3 stops in a row on defense. And it's like, you're not even getting one stop.
Yeah.
And you don't even look good on defense.
When you can't get one.
I'm like, what is happening? They look out of sorts, and the coaching staff called out the team after the Nevada game. Great game on offense. They would not cover the high screen like Coach McMillan had scouted for them. Cut off the high screen, you're going to take away their offense, and they just wouldn't do it. And that game was too late, so when I heard that quote, I went back and watched it, and they just weren't doing it. So I don't know what's going on with Wyoming basketball. I think the coaches have the game plans. Like, just listen to us.
Yeah.
You're going to be successful, and they're just I don't know if the players I don't know if the players are just kind of in their own world or what. I feel bad because the coaching staff clearly has the game plans, and it's not like the Allen Edwards day where you're just hoping Maldonado scores 45 points. You know, Leland Walker had 30 points. If you had told me Leland Walker had 30 points last night, I said Wyoming wins by 15.
Sure, yeah, we'd all take that, right?
Yeah, and it's just like guys aren't stepping up, or I don't know. It's weird, and maybe in this transfer portal, maybe they got like super high on themselves in non-con, which wasn't a great non-con schedule, and now that they're getting punched in the teeth, they're not willing to throw a punch back. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's what it seems like to me, because it's kind of all over the board, right? The Nevada game was they played great on offense, played no defense. Then they came back against San Diego State. The defense wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. But they didn't shoot. I think they had a long stretch where they didn't have a field goal. Right?
Yeah.
Fresno, I don't know what really happened there. Kind of a lower scoring game, again showing that road home split in terms of offense. Right, we got to have the same intensity. You got to be able to score in the mid 70s on the road like you do at home. And and it could just be the altitude, but right, I mean, we should be in pretty good shape going to sea level. We should be able to run.
Yeah.
Maybe the other team doesn't get as tired, and maybe that hurts us in that case.
I watched the Fresno game, and Wyoming had it like locked up, and then they just like shut down. You can see it happen on the court where you're like, these guys are just shutting down.
Yeah.
But it's not a coach's problem. Like, Sundance can't be out there and be like, you guys can't shut down. And I think at this point, Sundance is just trying to find 5 guys that are willing to go.
Compete. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're playing a walk-on from Sheridan, it's very evident. And that's not a shot at Spielman, but he hasn't played at all in the non-conference, and now he's getting minutes against Boise.
Because of some injuries and such. And it seems that's the way it goes too with Wyoming basketball, where it's just a talent thing. We just don't have the horses yet. I mean, we're building, right? I mean, the roster is better this year than it was last year, and next year's roster will be better than this year. I have no doubt. But it seems that we kind of start going downhill with these injuries, and guys just start dropping out, and we just can't replace them, and that grinds on guys, right? Because I guess a popular saying in sports is next man up, right? But it's not really really
feasible. Not, especially not in basketball with your roster. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in Neil Summers, I guess, because he could be a guy true freshman year, just valuable minutes as a big body.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked why they haven't tried him here, and I guess they're thinking long term. But again, I don't know what's the redshirt rule in basketball these days.
I don't.
How many
Who
games can you
knows at
play?
this point? He could play a couple, but
Yeah,
I don't think they were happy with his physical
sure.
stature. So a little disappointed. A hometown kid where you're coming in and now you're not even seeing the court where the redshirt rules are way different than back in the day where Marcus Bailey is playing a true freshman scoring 2 points, a
Yeah,
game.
that used
So
to be
I don't know. And like we said last week, this is the first year really for Sundance. Last year is not fair to count as a coach for him. But I think next year he's going to probably make a pretty difficult non-con. Um, I'm just disappointed in the players because Sundance wants fans. Losing 4 games in a row and not looking great, losing 4 games in a row is not going to bring the fans to the double
especially
A.
2 at home, right, where you're
Yeah.
just getting smacked around, not scoring any points.
But
So we'll
hey,
see. Let's hope they get healthy and turn this around. Next game is this weekend at the Double A, hosting San Jose State, which is a winnable game.
yeah.
But again, I don't know if the injuries, if they don't get a couple of these guys back, you're going to have the same problem. So they're just going to have to find a way to get that job done. And then you get into a real tough stretch where you got Utah State,
Brutal.
Colorado State, San Diego State, Utah State, CSU. So you play CSU and Utah State twice in the next 5 games, with San Diego State sandwiched in the middle.
But just get a win against San Jose State. Just get that belief back.
Yeah.
And then start. But we talk about the Larry Shyatt teams. He had injuries. He had sickness. I mean,
Sure.
Granberry or whatever that guy's last name was 6'4" playing the 4 spot. And
Yeah.
Wyoming was winning. Sure. Just believe in your coaches, like, hey, play great defense, play in your zone, and we'll get the win. But it's like they start running around on defense, and that really gets them, instead of just, hey, they start panicking a little bit, and it gets them in really bad trouble.
Yeah, and it's too bad Brian is not here yet again because, he has more of a keen eye for this stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd be able to explain it. So hopefully next week we will get Brian back on to talk about this because he lives and breathes this stuff. He couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So there's the basketball. So yeah, Saturday, let's get all hands on deck for Saturday. I think it's 2 p.m. tip off.
That's good tip-off time.
Yep, and it's on the Mountain West Network. And, as we know right now, the Rocky Mountains will be missing Snowmageddon. It's everything Texas to D.C., basically, or New York.
We're going to die in a 2-inch freezing rainstorm out here, I think, at this point. So
okay, well, that's good. You're avoiding the worst of the snow.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
All right, let's switch gears here. And last Friday was the last day for players to enter the transfer portal for football. And as far as we know at this very moment, no other Cowboy players went in. Now, a name or two could still leak out. I've seen a few today.
Yeah.
But I think if a Wyoming player was in, we'd probably heard it by now. So I think it's safe to say that in terms of portal exits, things haven't been too terrible for Wyoming. We can pull up the list here. I just updated the list before the show. There's the additions, but we'll look at the subtractions.
Yeah.
Really quick. So 20 in total, right? The big ones. Not too many where you're like, oh no, right? I mean, obviously Chris Durr is a big one, but let's be honest, they weren't using him very well anyway, and that's probably the main reason he left. I think in this new offense, you would have had
monster,
a really, really big role.
Yeah.
So he's going to Maryland, who's got a talented young quarterback. They got a couple good young wide receivers. So we'll see how he does there. Kelman was productive for us last year. I think him leaving was more of a mutual thing from what we're hearing.
Yeah.
He's going to be at Liberty. Luke Sandy to Charlotte, again, a weird one. We talked about it last week. Sam Sula to Utah. That's obviously a big loss, even though
Big time.
been injury prone, but still he's right. He's got the measurables, the experience, and the skill to play there. And so he'll do well at Utah. Marky Grant going to Utah State. It's kind of a weird one there. And then Boss, I think, obviously is a big loss because
Yeah. Arizona's throwing wild NLI money or NIL money right now.
And Boss, really a good, I guess, example of what Wyoming's capable of doing, right? Is identifying a player. I mean, he was a 3-star guy out of high school. Didn't have a lot of great offers, and he came to Wyoming, and they developed him to a guy where Arizona snaps him up. So,
yeah.
Justin Taylor, he was a Power 5 guy who came down to Wyoming, going back a little closer at home to Central Michigan. And then obviously we talked about Caden Anderson to Tarleton, Wes Keene to West Virginia. And then I did read there may be some other guys who signed. And do I not have them on here? What's the other offensive lineman? I didn't add him on the departures.
Are you talking about? It was only Wes King and Luke Sandy.
No, there's another guy.
Offensive lineman?
Yeah.
They signed the kid from Northern Arizona. I didn't see anybody else leaving from the offensive line.
No, we have another guy who left, I'm pretty sure. Unless I'm crazy.
I haven't seen that, yeah.
Okay. Because was it Wes Keene who visited Texas?
Wes King went to Texas.
Okay.
They didn't sign him.
All right. So sorry. Believe it or not, the rivals and the On3, they do a terrible job attracting Wyoming players. So I got confused because they had Wes King down to Texas and K-State, and this was just like yesterday.
Yeah. Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't even have it marked that he signed with West Virginia yet. So no, there's another guy who left. I'm sorry, there is, because there's a guy that he announced. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talking offensive lineman, and I know not transfer portal because he's graduated, but Caden Barnett got invited to the East-West Shrine game.
Yeah.
So good for him, and hopefully
I don't know why I've lost my mind.
Well, while he looks at that, folks, Wyoming Cowgirls basketball is leading at halftime 29-24 over Utah State right now.
Nice.
So I'm sure David Suttle's happy to be calling a winning game right now.
All right, hold on here. Let me on-air research.
And while he's researching, kudos to Sarah McMullen from Wyoming Track and Field for being a alternate pick for the bobsled team coming up for the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I saw they announced that.
Yeah, so good for her. And hopefully she gets a chance.
I must have lost my mind.
I don't think there's a second. There's only 2 offensive linemen.
Unless there was. Okay.
I think you're confused because Braylon Jenkins, they announced that he had re-signed.
No. Yeah. It must have been Wes Keene, but I don't know. I have another name in my head, and it stuck with me for some reason.
Those are the only 2 I've been tracking on offensive line.
Yeah. All right. So there have been some additions since. If we can get back to the right page. So last week when we were on the show just before we went on, Shea, it was Travis Franklin Jr., safety from Jackson State, signed. So we've had 3 more guys sign on with Wyoming in the past since then. First one, Justin Popovich, a wide receiver from Lockhaven, and I can't remember if I think it's a Division II school.
Yeah, the Division I in wrestling, folks, but Division II and
okay. So football. Justin Popovich, looks more of like a possession guy, which is good, right? Because that's what we're going to need in this offense. I don't remember his stats. I think he had maybe.
He was good. His stats remind me of David Leonard, ACS's first year at quarterback. Sure. Just a guy that He catches the ball, doesn't do anything crazy, but
Yeah.
gets you what you need.
So that's good. And then they kind of snuck this in. They officially announced this guy yesterday, but I think he's been committed for about a little more than a week. Jeremiah Catt, an offensive lineman. He's a guard from Northern Arizona from the Lumberjacks. He was a part-time starter for them. I don't know if it was an injury thing or what, but he's a guy who has played some for them in the Big Sky. And then last but not least, Demarion Brownlee, safety from Southern Missouri, who had some pretty good stats as a safety.
I guess what you brought in 4 safeties for one real safety spot for starter.
Yeah, you got Vincent.
I guess 3 safeties.
And then Franklin and then Brownlee. Yeah. Because a lot of people are counting Beavers.
That guy's a linebacker.
Safety, but he's a linebacker.
He's going to take Sibomano's role.
Yeah. We'll see how many of these guys step up, right? We don't know. And that's the I guess the lottery, that is the transfer portal.
I know a lot of fans on the board, just fans in general, aren't like super high on Saville. It's hard for me to get to high, but last year he said he was going to fix the defense and he did it. And I was not high on Bowl as a linebacker coach or Petrino as a safeties coach, but they were the 2 best positions. Well, I guess that's not fair. Cornerback was really good, but they had the talent.
Yeah.
But linebacker and safety, I was like, these position groups are garbage. Recruited well, coached well. I don't know. Jay may say, hey, when he goes out to do something, he'll go out to do something. I really think they need another quarterback. They need a wide receiver and a quarterback.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they are still looking for another wide receiver, and they do have some time because I do believe the drop dead date to get enrolled.
They got 5 days.
Wyoming is next Monday.
Yeah, right? Or you get a late qualifier coming out of spring practice. I mean, so some of the guys in the transfer portal for Wyoming may actually practice in the spring. So there's other teams out there with that type of possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, this is going to work out, or we got to cut you because of roster limits. And Wyoming ends up with a really good receiver, and a quarterback's probably going to be harder, but you're hoping, like Landon Sims, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Great quarterback. But
yeah, I mean, a JUCO ad is probably a lot better, right? And again, I haven't included those in the portal because, right, JUCO, you're meant to transfer.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't
100%.
add the JUCO guys they added. I mean, we got a JUCO linebacker. And did we get another JUCO, or is it just one?
I think it's one, the Butts
kid.
Just
one. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. In the portal, I think they need a quarterback, and they definitely need a wide receiver. But I don't know, maybe some true freshmen last year that were kind of behind. Or I really like the Jackson Holman kid, and I think this offense is going to be great for him.
Sure. Let's see. Do we actually have a chat? We do. Drew is here. I don't know how long you dropped that in, Drew, but hi guys. Basketball needs healing as 24 points killed the Pokes' chances. I'm trying to see what the 24 points per game.
Getting outscored 24
is
points
referring to. Yeah, maybe.
They need Josh Harris. They need Belich and Harris back. That's just they need all 3 guys that are hurt back. Concussions at altitude take longer to kind of heal. So I'm assuming Nasmeyer is going to be out for San Jose State as well.
I would imagine so.
So,
yeah, back to the portal talk. Yeah, I think wide receiver wise, and this is a concern for me at running back too, is size wise, we have too many smaller type receivers.
Yeah.
So Popovich has got some size. Holman's got a little. But the problem is the rest of the guys we have in the wide receiver room are all under 6 foot. and they're like 180. They're like, Chris Dorr type of
Yeah.
players, which will work in this offense, but you still need, some guys on the outside who can get deep. So I think they're probably looking to replace a guy like that. And it's time for some of these guys to step up too, right?
Yeah.
Because how many year after year after year, I'm not going to listen to a damn word they say, because every year they say, oh, this guy's going to be a star. And then they don't even play or get like 2 catches. And it's like, okay, let's calm down.
Yeah. I don't
But
know. I don't know what's going on. It was in the it was before even Sawville. Bull was the same way. He'd be like,
oh, sure. Yeah. It's stretched back to Bull. Yep. Drew
yeah, these
saying 3 guys are averaging 24 points. So that makes sense.
yeah.
I got you. Yeah. No, that's a big hole, right? To lose that much output.
That's it, yeah. And it shows on the scoreboard 24 points last night wins the game for the Pokes. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they would be like, this guy's gonna be great. And then you're like, is he though?
Yeah.
Because I don't see him on the field.
So we'll see what happens there. But I think number-wise, they have enough wide receivers. But if they could add another guy of size who's
A
played,
big guy, yeah.
that would be helpful. But let's talk about, I guess, the good news coming out of the weekend is that Christian Taylor is now free to join the University of Wyoming after the Buffalo Bills.
But are they allowed to talk to players right now? The rules are so weird to me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's no dead period. You can still recruit.
No, I mean not recruit, but is he allowed to start? I mean, he can give out his playbook, I guess.
I
Yeah, but
do
is he
not
allowed
know
to?
what the rules are in
Yeah.
terms of winter conditioning these days. Yeah. If you can, I think they've loosened things up, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to research that to see what the rules are
I mean,
in
for
terms of
Trey,
interaction.
yeah, Trey Hughes is fine. He's already been in this offense. He knows exactly what's coming his way. He's played under Coach Taylor, but
Well, he was on the team. He didn't play, but yeah.
yeah, he got like maybe his red shirt. He kind of played, but yeah. I guess maybe it's on the other coaches. This is where Taylor needs to pull the offensive coaches in and be like,
And that's where he's got to coach the coaches, right? And that's why
yeah,
I still think it's possible because, again, remember, you can have unlimited coaches. I think it'd be worthwhile for Wyoming to hire another guy who's worked with Taylor who could help teach.
yeah, an offensive line coach.
Maybe, yeah.
I guess,
But someone that can help teach, right? And I think
yeah,
that's key. And heck, it could be, right, even if it's a grad assistant or something, right? You need more
yeah,
teachers, right? Someone who knows his system to be able to teach the system, because that's going to be the biggest hurdle that we have. Although, I mean, stylistically, it's not much different than what we've been running.
mm-mm.
So I think they'll be okay. It's just going to be a little different because it's based off a lot of motion, and then the running game's a lot more diverse too.
Yeah. This is a scheme-driven, like the William and Mary's 10 minutes from me, and I've watched quite a few of their games, and they're gonna run stuff at you like 2016 New Mexico. It's gonna be a very diverse run game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you start keying, it's got
Out of the same formation, though, right?
out of the same, nothing changes. It's just
Yep.
you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And Taylor's very good about adjusting to it. And what I like about Coach Savell, maybe over Coach Bull was like, this is what we're gonna run no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Savell's like, I'm giving the keys to the offensive. Now maybe he's a little bit more involved after the last 2 years, but this is gonna be like like Air Force. You're gonna have a lot of over the top plays for your receivers.
You should, yeah. I think they're gonna really focus on running the ball,
Yeah,
and they can do that. And then they have a guy who's a specialty in passing efficiency and yards per pass attempt, and so it's
perfect.
music to my ears, and it's what we could run, right? It's kind of like, again, I think it'll be a lot like the great year when Polasek, right? Bowls last year with
Yeah,
Polasek and Peasley. It's going to be very similar.
efficient. Yeah, just an efficient offense. Get what we got to do. Find the holes.
Mm-hmm.
So excited for the hire. Excited he got a quarterback that's played for him before, whether he's been on the field or just on the
Yeah, a
practice
guy that
field.
he knows. Obviously, he recruited.
Yeah. So, and I guess we'll kind of sucks now. I guess maybe the It sounds like the spring practices are going to be pretty open to the media. So
Yeah, we'll see. It sounds like the trend in college football is to have earlier spring ball, but again, being in Laramie, I don't know
yeah,
if they can really do that. I know a lot of schools are right with, especially this portal and bringing in so many new guys. They're starting their practices like in February in some schools.
yeah. I mean,
So
we'll rely on Keith and Cody and Alex
yeah, so
to
we'll see.
get
So I
across the
hope
mountain.
that we get to hear. Hopefully, I don't know. I hope we don't have to wait till spring ball to hear from the OC. It'd be great if they got him right somewhere on Keith's show or something. Heck, you know what? I'll try to get him
You can
once he gets
ask,
in the office. Yeah, we'll try to get him to have an interview with him on here to see what he's all about. So I hope we don't have to wait. So we talked about wide receivers. I'm a little concerned too about running backs. Now, number wise, I think we're good. I think they're going to have 6 scholarship running backs.
Yeah.
But the problem is you only have one over 200 pounds, and he's 5'7". So it's a bunch of scatter bug running backs, and there's no Sam Scott type. But I don't think they're going to look to add anyone. They're just going to
No.
have to make do with what they have. And the problem is, as you saw, you get these guys who are like 5'8", 5'9", and they weigh like 180. They're going to get hurt, right? Tote got hurt. And so it's just going to be a rotation of guys. It does help to get the guy coming in from Western Illinois.
Yeah.
He's got some experience, but right now you only have 2 running backs who've ever even ran the ball at the college level on your roster, which is
But
pretty concerning.
yeah, Taylor's scheme may where Wyoming's offensive line has struggled the past 2 years under the Jay Johnson scheme, they could flourish. Just like the running backs, it doesn't matter who you put back there because they're and you could go to Indiana's offense, their offensive line was tiny in
Oh, yeah.
Big Ten standards, but they just met the mark. They were coached very well, just meet the mark and everything
Yeah.
else will fall in. So
Yeah, so we'll see. I'll see how that room goes. Again, a little concerning to me, very inexperienced and small.
yeah, I guess just get them in space and you don't have to worry about it.
Well, and that's what they're gonna try to do, right? So
Yeah,
maybe that's why they're happy with it because that is the goal of the offense, right? Is to and we hear this, every coach has said it at Wyoming, but I think we're actually gonna do it is it's not only about defending the vertical game, but sideline to sideline.
yeah,
If you make the defense cover from sideline to sideline, that opens up those gaps, and you're gonna see it in the run game. They're gonna do a lot of concepts. They're gonna do a lot of stuff with their wide receivers to make, right, defenses spread out, and then that's what opens up the holes. So again, if you haven't seen any of the stuff, go watch some. William and Mary's got quite a bit of games, full games on YouTube that you
oh
can
yeah.
watch to get an idea of their offense back from when Taylor was the OC, and then this year to see how the quarterback plays. So
Yeah, it'll be it kind of sucks. Now we're stuck till spring ball, and we get some updates from Cody and Alex, and Keith is he's available to come across the hill. So
yeah, Drew says he's looking forward to Glory and the networks to make their announcements, and it sounds like that is coming soon, Drew. According to some people, that in the next couple of weeks we might hear about the Mountain West. I'm thinking that if Savell continues the scheme, the right personnel are doing their jobs. I guess we could kind of talk about this right now. So Wyo Tailgater is a guy on Twitter who, he might ruffle a few feathers, but he did find a little hidden in some legislation where
yeah,
Wyoming was asking for stuff that basically admitted that the new Mountain West media deal is about $1 million less per year than the last one, which is a big hole that Wyoming has to fill already. Obviously, because of the house settlement and that stuff, right? They're having to pay money
yep.
to pay that off.
That's what's hurting them.
Yeah.
And the
Which
Cowboy
is
State
crazy.
Daily,
It's
yeah,
a
the
crazy.
Cowboy State Daily has been pissing me off. YWO4 files been pissing me off because they're labeling that $6 million ask from Tom Berman as NIL, but it's not NIL because
It's not.
Tailgater put out it's listed it could be. I think they put, estimated $1 million less on media. But then the line above it, it talks about the house settlement. You
Yep.
can't get around it. You have to
You have
pay
to
that
pay it.
money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cody brought up on his show, he goes, "Would it be nice if the state would match an NIL of like $2 million?" Yeah, if they could find $2 million worth of donors and the state would match it,
We'd be in good
perfect.
shape. Yeah.
Right. But this legislature stuff, and I've been pretty vocal about it publicly and privately. I'm not a Wyoming resident anymore, but it burns me to listen to guys claim to be veterans. That pisses me off more than anything in political. Where like, I'm a veteran, and then they grandstand on it, and that's
Yeah.
what they're doing, and it's very frustrating. I've emailed those legislatures. Whether they read my emails or not, I don't care. I've said my piece with them, but you're gonna match the Cowboy Joy Club $5 million. That's a $5 million match from the state, but you're not gonna fund $3 million. And then whatever your take is with the Maine University and their DEI stuff, that's separate. But I really think this is a shot at Tom Berman. There's no president right now. I don't know why Seidel's writing an opinion piece. He's a bird
Yeah. Who
without
cares what
wings.
he
Yeah,
thinks?
dude,
Yeah.
come on, dude. Just honestly, just go away because you're making it worse.
Yeah.
You got fired because you gave your lover a job she didn't deserve.
Mhm.
This is what it is.
Sure.
But
100%.
don't write an opinion piece because nobody cares.
Yeah.
I thought Berman's post was fine on Facebook, and um, other people. Gordon has written an opinion piece, and the
Yeah, and I was gonna say the big thing here is that the governor, right, doesn't support these cuts.
yeah.
So I don't know, right, if even if they passed the budget, would they have enough to override a veto? I don't know if you could veto the budget, like what
I
wiggle
think
room they
Gordon
had.
can. I think this is just in a committee, mostly
Yeah,
Gillette people, and this is I don't care if the Gillette people get mad. It's mostly Gillette and Sheridan legislatures and one random guy in Powell. They smell blood in the water because there's no leadership at UW right now.
yeah,
Call it what it is. Seidel is not
100%.
is
Yep.
not around. They're taking their shot. It's an election year. But this is where Gordon can go, "Oh yeah, watch this. I will veto you got if they do pass it, but I don't think it's going to pass. I
Yeah.
think there's too much going on,
It's
and
just getting
yeah, they're
media coverage.
grandstanding. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're grandstanding in an election year, and it is what it is, and it has been nice that it is funny to watch fans bicker throughout the year of like coaches suck or these players are doing very good. But this is definitely united the UW fan base, and
Yes.
like these four guys or these 12 people in this advisory committee are way off base. So um is what it is. I just hope it works out. February 9th is the vote. So
Yeah, it was a long time,
yeah,
18
that's
days or
that's
more.
kind of our next big I think our next big news story at this point is going to be
Yeah.
February 9th, and follow follow along. And if you're a Wyoming resident or not even a resident like myself, just hey, I don't know where you're coming from with this, and they haven't emailed me back, so maybe it's in junk mail or they don't care.
Yeah.
But I tried to take my emotion out of it a little, still mad. It, and we've been critical of Tom Berman. I just don't think this is fair to the overall goal of the university that we
No,
got to
because they
take
wanna
out.
cut it's not just athletics, they wanna cut the academic budget as well, right?
Yeah.
So
And the one guy said he wants to increase Hathaway by 30%. There's not going to be a university, you moron, if you cut $60 million, but you want to give a 30% increase to Hathaway.
yeah.
Hathaway's, I love the Hathaway. It's a great idea. But if
Yeah,
you cut $60 million, there's not going to be a university to fund.
sure.
So, um, I don't know. It's been nice to kind of see it, and hopefully people are raising their voices. And I've been very vocal about it. That $6 million ask is not about NIL, and I want to stop my foot on that. That is not an NIL ask. That is
Yeah.
$3 million over a 2-year period, or $6 million over a 2-year period, $3 million a year. Go to Wyo Tailgater. He lists what the money is for. So
Mhm.
Wyoming's probably going to lose money on the media deal. You hope it's not $1 million, and maybe it's $500,000, and we work through it. But don't think the Pac-12's media deal is going to be that great either. So
No, and the leaks are coming out that theirs is pretty much on par with ours. So
yeah, so
and there's a reason they haven't announced the final number, even though theirs is complete.
yeah, so they're broke. That's the problem, is they're broke. Yeah. Just I don't know. Maybe encourage the BOT to find a president that's pro athletics, and that may help not just even UW athletics, but just at the state level of saying, hey, what are we doing here?
Yeah. So. All right. So the reason I brought him up is he has another thing. But before we get to that, do we have an update on the Cowgirl score?
Oh, hang on.
This will feed in. This will feed into this next story as we wrap up the show.
Here we go. It is. Oh, Wyoming's running away with it here. 51-36 with 7 minutes left in the fourth.
Against who again?
Utah State.
Utah State. Okay, so the Cowgirls are having a rough year. Looks like they're going to get another W in the win column, which is important because right now we are facing one of the worst athletic seasons in the history of Wyoming sports. And here is from Wyo Tailgater. You might have saw him post this, the BMI, which I love. I laughed when I saw this.
Yeah, that's
the Berman Mediocrity Index. Wyoming's all-time low in an academic year for wins in football, men's and women's basketball combined is 26. And right now we're at 20. So the Cowgirls could get us to 21.
You know what's crazy is I don't know if Berman was still on staff at UW when this happened, because this was still Lee Moon. And Berman worked for Lee Moon.
Was it Moon in 03-04? It might have been
it might have been Barta. You're right. If it was Barta, then Berman wasn't on staff. He had left.
I'm pretty sure it's Barta.
Yeah, so man.
But he listed the 3 years. So the I think the 2 other years that are just as bad as that one, Berman was in charge of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can go to his feed. I asked him what were the years, because he listed 3 years, and this was 03-04, and I think one was like 13-14. But anyway, so we could get up to 21. Now, men's basketball has 12 games left, but again, brutal schedule, right? It's the Mountain West. They got injuries. I don't know. I'm thinking that we'll get over it. That would just need the Cowgirls to win like 3 games and the Cowboys to win 4. Now, again, I don't know if this counts postseason too. I don't know if tournament wins count in this, or if it's just regular season. I'll have to ask Wyo Tailgater if this includes tournament games.
You know what's crazy? I think that men's basketball team that year won like 22 games.
They might have,
yeah. That's wild that one sports team carries you.
Yeah.
That far.
So something to monitor here. And you can go to his feed. He's got it listed. I had a little conversation with him asking, but he's posting this. So if the Cowgirls win tonight, he'll probably update the graphic and we'll be up to 21.
Yeah, he's big in that and the Grok AI videos.
Yes.
He
for sure.
The stuff cracks me up. I may not agree with all of it, but it still makes me laugh when he posts stuff.
All right, we'll hide that. Drew has a question, and I've addressed this multiple times, and I think you've been on for these, Drew. But Berman doesn't have a hot seat right now because he doesn't have a boss, or he has a lame duck boss.
Yep.
So until Wyoming hires a president, I would imagine a president who is pro athletics would look at the history of Tom Berman and be like, why are you still here? Because Berman has had multiple failures in hiring coaches, and at any other school in the country, he wouldn't have a job. That's just a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. You get like 2 bad hires and you're out the door. Well, he's had like 3 or 4 bad hires. Now, again, he's good with the budget. He's been good with facilities. But I think we're past that. Everybody has facilities now, right? So you do what you got to do. And so the next new thing right now is, right, unfortunately, it's NIL. And I know that Wyoming has we have a lot of disadvantages because we're the smallest state in the union in terms of population. And then, right, we don't have a population base. Your alumni base is scattered throughout the country. So I don't envy him because he's in a hard position. But I do believe that we need to find some solutions to stuff.
And maybe stuff's just run its course.
Yeah, he's been around too long.
Yeah.
With 0 championships, by the way. 0.
It's so
0 major sport championships, right? 0. Or regular season wise. I mean, sure, we won the tournament under Shyatt that one year, but that's a nothing burger, because weren't we like the 7th or 8th seed or something like that?
Yeah, because Nance got mono that. It was a good tournament win because they had like overcome some stuff. And
yeah, thanks, Drew.
Yeah.
What do you think, Drew?
Yeah.
Give us your opinion. We'll put it up on here. And anybody else, if you're watching, this is your time. Get into the YouTube chat. Leave your comments, because I know this is things we need to talk about. I know Wyoming, we want to be nice, but at the same time, right? Shea mentioned it. The reason they're going for the university is because they're leaderless. Berman doesn't have a boss. The BOT doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Everything's blowing in the wind, and it's not good. If you like the University of Wyoming, it's bad academically. We had a guy on the board who I want to get on the show probably after the sports season talking about, I didn't know this, that Wyoming is hemorrhaging students.
Yeah.
Enrollment's down like 3,000 to 4,000 students since I was there. And you can't, right? In the end, you need students or you don't have a university, like Shea mentioned.
That's the same thing. They're going to cut this. Now, Drew, Berman's contract is through June of 2027.
Yeah. Well, no, he got it extended.
No, June of 2027 is his contract end date right now.
Okay.
So now if they do another behind the door extension.
I got you. So I thought the behind the secret extension was like 5 years for some reason. Sorry.
No, it's 2027. Okay. But I think it lines up. You get a president in June.
Yep.
Hey, you're done, Berman, but we're just going to let you. Now, this is where it's going to get crazy to me. If Savell struggles as a football coach and they go 4-8, do they fire Savell? Because then you're putting in the ball back into Berman.
You can't do it.
Yeah. So I don't. It's very. Yeah. It's weird, right? You want to. Yep. I want Jay Savell to succeed. I do wholeheartedly. Yeah. I love him that he is so open with the media. I love that because we bitched about Bull not being that. But if he struggles, you're left with Berman on his last year of his contract hiring another football coach. So,
which can't happen.
Yeah. Or as president comes in, he goes, "Hey, you're good," but the university's trending is, "Hey, we just fired a president, but we let him stay on for a whole year as we fired him." So it's
not a good president. Yeah.
Yeah. So Berman's improved the facilities 100%. The Linder hire was kind of hard to blame on him because I thought Linder was a home run hire, and it's just tough.
Yeah, wow. I didn't know Wyoming was even up to that many at one point.
Good Lord, that's a big God. I wish we had 12K.
Yeah.
But this is why when people complain about Wyoming using Josh Allen and doing these Buffalo Bill days and paying for Super Bowl ads, this is why they're doing it. They're trying to increase enrollment.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it. Wyoming sucks with helping veterans. They suck. They're god-awful. CSU Pueblo offers a better GI Bill matching than the University of Wyoming. So how does CSU Pueblo or CSU, your competitor, they match. If your GI Bill doesn't cover the classes, they pay it. You don't pay anything out of pocket. Wyoming's like, well, here's $3,000, but I don't know if that $3,000 is going to cover my tuition or not as an out-of-state student.
Yeah.
So they're stuck in their ways and they need to get creative.
Yeah. So that it'll be a big conversation. as we get a new president, because that's going to be one of the first things they're going to have to do is come in and evaluate Berman. Because again, as I said time and time again, the way it usually works is presidents hire ADs, ADs hire football coaches. And if we get out of order again, then you're stuck, right? If Berman is allowed to hire Salvel's replacement, if things go poorly, then that's not good, because then you're stuck for that coach for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and I think they may wait. I don't know. Like, that's my guess, is they'll have to see the new president will come in and basically give probably Berman and Salvel a year to like righten things up. And then they'll probably both get fired if things go poorly. And then you can go into a cycle with a new AD who would hire then a new football coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Things run their course all the time. There's positive Berman has done. There's negatives that we are clearly highlighted by Berman, but 20 plus years at a AD as a school is unheard of in Division One.
With 0 championships. Now, you heard of those guys staying 20 years, but they have like 10 championships, and that's why they've stuck around. Right?
Yeah. So, I know Berman has been frustrated with stuff, so I think he does care. It's hard as a fan to be like, does he though? Because this is just really frustrating to watch. But I think he cares. And maybe it's just time to part ways and say, hey, thanks for your services. Thanks for what you've done. Go enjoy, your Social Security check or whatever. Because I don't know if he's like 62 to collect that yet. But go enjoy your life.
On your ranch.
With your kids. I know that are older, but just go enjoy. Maybe if they have kids, be a grandpa like Coach Bull. Just go enjoy that part of life. So
we'll see. It'll all shake out in the end. But again, and the best thing for Wyoming is for Jay Salvel to be successful.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I'm not rooting against Salvel by any means. I want him to be successful, and an 8-win season would probably go a long way. But I don't know. I think everybody's just kind of in a bad spot because they dropped this news of like they want to cut stuff, and the university has no leader.
Yeah, so it's going to be key when they hire someone, and I haven't heard anything. I don't know if they're still looking at like April or May or what with that. But
yeah, I don't know. They had released a timeline on what their plan was. I just had to Google it and kind of pull it up.
Yeah, they did have one. I think it was like May. But the problem is, I think Seidel's contract runs until like July.
June. They do their fiscal years.
Okay.
The end of June.
So like June 30th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we'll see. So that is going to be a big story. It's who gets selected to run the university. We'll have a lot to say about what happens here with all this, right? And it's all a big issue. Enrollment, budget, and everything. So,
I mean, it's going to keep us busy on the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna give us a good spring and summer for sure.
Yeah,
so keep shows running for sure.
Yeah, we're good with sports until the middle of March, and then we'll have to go to the admin side of the house with presidents and ADs and stuff. So.
So, all right. Well, we've been rolling for an hour, which I think is more than enough.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Drew says June 26th, and the new president be named by April 26th. Okay. That's soon.
Very soon. They've clearly brought people in for interviews then.
Yeah. I mean, these things do take like 3 to 6 months typically.
Yeah.
They take their time.
Here's the thing. If the board of trustees ever watch this, don't hire an astrophysicist from Yale as your president. I would love if they hired the Utah Valley president. I think she's awesome. Maybe she's not a good candidate for Wyoming, but I think it speaks volumes when your president is sitting at the edge of your wrestling bench with the pom-pom rooting on your team. So that would be cool to kind of see a president do that for the University of Wyoming. because I don't think Seidel's obviously was doing that before he got fired, or doing it now. So.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. So yeah, so this weekend, wrestling, basketball. I'm sure we might hear another portal name or two in the next week. So we will be back with you. I think next Wednesday. There's not a basketball game, is there? Next Wednesday. Look here.
I don't think they're playing.
The basketball game is next Wednesday. Well, darn them. So we'll probably be back Thursday of next week.
Thursday or Tuesday.
Yeah, next Wednesday, Wyoming is at Utah State on a game on CBS Sports. So
I don't. Oh, I'm on the wrong week. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we'll be back next Thursday with a show. Hopefully Brian will be able to join us, and we'll talk about the San Jose State game, the Utah State game, and then we'll be previewing a border war, which will be coming up that weekend.
Yeah, it'll be good. Next week I'll try to create a graphic and get it out. Maybe we can get UW marketing on board to.
There we go. How about
a big Saturday in Laramie?
A cowboy burning a couch in the snowstorm
for the border war.
Morgantown one.
Oh yeah,
for the wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Keeping warm by burning a couch. Come on.
Yeah, if not even for next Saturday against the Beavers and the Rams, I'm sure I can make something funny.
Yeah,
to get Sundance and Coach Branch to get a good laugh out of it.
There we go. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us once again for conversation tonight. And yeah, we will keep track of everything that's happening over the next week. And we'll be back with you next Thursday to see what happened. Because, right, sports is popular because it's the #1 reality show on television. And it's different each week, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. Until then, for Shea, I'm Chad. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll catch you later.